Mayor Gerardo Sanchez,
Present.
Vice Mayor Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr., Councilmember Luis Cabrera,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce, Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Councilmember Matias, could you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Matias. We're going to go with the discussion of possible action. This is an executive session. Motion to go into executive session.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. council meeting?
So move.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to table this item.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those-
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
So move, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All those against? Motion carries.
Mayor, Mayor Gerardo Sanchez,
Present.
Vice Mayor Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr., Councilmember Luis Cabrera,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce,
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to go with items for discussion only. Let's see here. Could you expand make it bigger? Perfect, just like that, okay. Item number 2A, presentation for the 2021 mid-year report. Ms. Julie Engel, President and CEO of Greater Yuma Economic Development Corporation. Julie, thank you for being with us.
Mayor, thank you very much for having me. And Sonia, can I share my screen or were you going to put the presentation?
I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so that you can share yours. Just make sure that when you're done, you don't kick us all out, please. Thank you. Now you should be able to share your screen, Julie.
Can everyone see that okay?
Yes, Julie, we can see it.
Okay. I apologize, I do not know how to change this format, so you're gonna have the little boxes over to the side. And let me see. Well, anyway, we'll get started. I'm gonna first start by thanking all of you for allowing me to be here tonight, and thank you for the continued support that you've always shown GYDC and the team. It is a privilege to get to do what we do, and we're so excited about everything that is on the horizon, especially for San Luis. San Luis is one of our biggest opportunities in the county. The land opportunities that are ready for development are unlike anywhere else in Yuma County. So you really are one of our biggest and most exciting opportunities that are happening right now. Oh, just a minute. Click on plus more. Today.
At the top,
At
on
the
the
top,
top over
at the
here,
top.
the percentage.
Percentage.
Thank you.
There you go.
Excellent. Now, can you all still see that, or did I make it too big?
You're good, you're good.
That's perfect.
You're good.
Tadeo, thank you very much for that. He sent me a text message. Thank you very much. Okay, so economic trends that we're seeing, especially, I mean, this isn't just COVID related. These were trends that we were seeing even before COVID. But what COVID really did bring attention to is reskilling and recovery. We have a nation full of people who were displaced due to COVID and are interested in learning new skills, are interested in going back to school. And we are trying to capitalize on that as well, working with our local higher education and with our employers who are willing to do that reskilling. And the companies, as I said, they are getting involved. And then the work, live, play is more and more important. As a matter of fact, we just had a very unusual meeting with a new startup. They broke away from the lady who did the list on contractors and things like that, that you could go online and find recommendations. Well, they have actually created a new app and a new offering that is live where you want, work remotely. And so they were learning more about our community to see if this was a live, work, play community, because they wanted to start promoting our region as a place to go and have a good quality of life and still work where you're working, because so many people did learn that they can work remotely now. So this is kind of a new trend in that as well. And then inclusive economies. This is a priority of this administration. It's always been a priority, I think, of Yuma County, but it is definitely now a nationwide priority. And then the promotion of innovation and entrepreneurship, which is something that Arizona Western College, again, we're working very closely with Arizona Western College to kind of revamp our entrepreneurial center and the opportunities, because there's one thing we know is that with being 70% Hispanic in Yuma County, it is a fearless group of people who are always willing to go into business. They have an idea and they're not afraid to pursue it. So we really need to be better at helping them be successful. Then urban areas, and this is something that I've explained for the last couple years, they're enjoying historic prosperity, and they have exceeded the 2007 levels that were right before the Great Recession. And rural economies just aren't. We haven't even reached pre-2000 recovery levels in some areas. And so economic mobility is really limited in rural areas as well, with access to higher education, access to wealth opportunities don't exist in a lot of rural areas. And so we have started a new program with Local First. Kimber Lanning is creating this new program, and she is actually hiring full-time people, and she's also trying to find resources across the state to help our rural communities become part of the plethora of money available through COVID and through all these grants that are coming out. And so she is going to have full-time staffers that will be grant writers, and then she's going to have consultants that are available to anyone, any community that wants to try for some of these funds. So we're going to be working with her, and I'm going to be sharing a lot more information, and we're actually going to have a meeting with her, and I will be inviting Jenny and Hector and all my public sectors, and then all of our nonprofits to that meeting to learn more about that. So moving on, our labor trends haven't changed too much. We still are one of the largest areas in the United States for agriculture workers, and they continue to age out. And so cross-border collaboration and the J-1 visas are going to become a bigger deal. Our binational university MOUs are going to be our saving grace. It is actually going to help us bridge our labor gap, especially in some of the industry sectors where the whole US is suffering. We have an advantage because we're actually partnering with Mexico, and we are, that group of resources and talent aren't being accessed as readily as we are. So it's an advantage for us, and we're really excited about these opportunities. And then we need to have more culture exchanges, and that's happening as well with Mexico. And then here's a statistic: 70% of Yuma's population is Hispanic, and 76% of AWC students are of color. We're number one in Arizona, and 66% are first generation. There's the first generation of students in their families to go to college. 45% of our high school graduates enroll in Arizona Western, and that's number one in Arizona as well. The only downside to that is there isn't 45% going on. They are not finishing, and a lot of that has to do with funding. If they need any mediation, all of their funding is used up in getting those mediation courses, and then by the time they can really start working towards a degree, their eligibility funding is gone. And so we are really addressing that shortfall so that when our high school students enter AWC, they at least graduate with an associate's, if not a bachelor's. And it was just announced too, Arizona Western College is offering free tuition this summer to any Yuma County high school student. Even graduating seniors are eligible for free tuition. So we are trying to bridge this gap. If anybody does need mediation, they need to do it this summer, get it done for free, and then start their loan programs to move on to their degrees. So our investor trends, we were very, very concerned when COVID first hit. We had no idea what the impacts were going to be. We didn't know what our public sector's budgets were going to look like. And we were pleasantly surprised. We did lose 3 investors during COVID, and we had 1 investor decrease, and we had 1 investor unable to pay their 4th quarter, but they came back in and paid their 1st quarter of this fiscal year and their 2nd quarter. And we also gained 4 new investors. So we actually are better off than we were before the pandemic, which we were not anticipating at all. We really did think we were going to have to buckle down. And then we're still pursuing our per capita model. And as soon as our 2020 census is out, we will be adjusting those based on the population. So we'll probably be coming back with some new numbers. And we're very grateful that San Luis, you know, last year we because we didn't know what COVID was going to do, we stayed the same, but we have asked for San Luis to make that bump up again this year, and hopefully that can happen, because that public sector funding is so critical to our marketing and our ability to continue getting that message out. So this is a picture of the projects that are active right now. And it is a representation of all of Yuma County. We have San Luis projects, we have East Yuma County, and we have Yuma projects, 278 jobs. And these are ones that are committed. These are either already in a land contract deal, a building, they've already signed leases, or they are already under construction. So we know for certain these are going to happen. So it's 278 new jobs, 95 million capital investment, 455,000 square foot industrial, and 9 million in new payroll. So that's not bad for a pandemic year. Now, what we've really focused on, because we were kind of office bound, you know, there wasn't any travel, there wasn't anything going on outside of the pandemic. So we have partnered with the Transatlantic Business Industry Council, and they put all of their trips on a virtual platform this year. So we were able to do, in October, we went to Germany. In October, we went to Italy. In October, we went to Germany again. And then in December, we went to Israel and Germany, and we met with over 30 companies. And each one of these trips, they were virtual trips, but we literally met with over 30 companies during these trips. And we got leads from each trip. So we're very excited about the relationships that we're establishing with companies that are very interested in entering the US market. And again, I go back to San Luis's assets, because these will be built to suit. These are new technologies and things. So it's very important that we have this land available. Arizona Western College also partnered with the Transatlantic Business Industry Council, and they were the very first US college to receive certification in the German apprenticeship program. Germany is known for their skilled trades and how wonderful they train and create manufacturing. And so this is a replica of what is in Germany. And so these companies that we were talking to, that was one of our selling points, is the fact that we're going to have the same type of training they're used to having. They'll be able to get their employees trained very quickly and integrated into their new facilities. So we're really excited about the opportunity that is available now with these. However, unfortunately, Europe has not been as lucky as the US so far, and their vaccine dissemination was disrupted, and they have a rise in cases, and they went on lockdown again. TBIC was actually so excited they were going to have their first in-person trip in May, and it had to convert back to virtual because the travel's been canceled. So it is still not a little bit of an unknown, and we'll continue to monitor that as well. Good news is too that we reissued our contract with the chamber for the San Luis Resource Center. So once we are back to staffing that, we will have one person in resident every week at the Resource Center in San Luis. And then we also did a lot of grant writing, and we assisted the Port Authority with their A.ESP grant, and happy to say they got that. Our spaceport grant analysis was funded, and that is done. And then we're also working on our multiversity grant that we just received word that we did get funded. We did a multifamily housing study because we have an issue with our young teachers that we're recruiting into Yuma County literally can't afford single family houses that are for rent, and the opportunities for multifamily housing is almost non-existent in Yuma County as a whole. And so we've conducted this study, and we're actually trying to attract some new investment in multifamily housing throughout Yuma County to address these shortfalls. And so this study has led to a webinar and presentation that's going to take place at the end of the month. And so be on the lookout for the invitation to that. We'll be sending that out too. And that is being hosted by the feds, because this did definitely get the attention of the feds. For affordable housing is a must. And we've demonstrated clearly that there is a need. So going on to the multiversity, these are all of our partners in the multiversity. We did apply for and received notice that we were awarded for this to go forward in phase 2. So we're going to be commissioning company that it'll go to bid, and they will be conducting a study to find out exactly what is needed, what does the community want when it comes to higher education opportunities, and also having the ability to have dorms for our students, because right now that just doesn't exist. And so our South County students and our San Luis and Somerton students and even our Welton students are making long commutes to go to school. And so we are trying to create a better college going experience. And with the percentage of students that are enrolling in higher education, there's obviously a demand. So this slide is just the layout of what that multiversity is going to look like. So our social media presence increased dramatically this year as well. We created the Greater Yuma Economic Resource Portal. The first week of COVID shutdown, we created this portal and became the clearinghouse of information when it came to PPP and funding sources and how to protect your employees. We started holding webinars and trainings, and we partnered with the chamber on some lunch and learns, and this resource portal is still visited daily. And we're constantly updating it. We're still putting new information. The most recent thing was childcare information that we just put out on our resource portal. So we're constantly updating that. We created a new website called Pain is Optional, and it's a marketing campaign. We had a billboard, we have the website, and we're doing a lot of social media marketing, and we've gotten a lot of traffic on our Pain is Optional. And what it's doing is showing how we compare to California and Phoenix. And of course, we compare very nicely. So, and then just our social media presence overall, as soon as Amber took over and really dedicated a lot of time and resources to it, our presence has tripled, if not even more than that now probably. So good news in that realm as well. Going back to the webinars, our business retention and expansion, we partnered with the Arizona Commerce Authority and the Arizona Manufacturing Partnership, AZMEP. And held, even in pandemic, we held, all of these people had to be confirmed that, I mean, they were tested before they came, and then their temperatures were taken when they got there. And these trainings were held on site at their businesses. And it was a Lego competition for lean manufacturing. And it was just, everyone really, really appreciated the fact that we were still maintaining a level of support during all of this. And the webinars that our manufacturers participated in, as a matter of fact, they started helping each other. They were giving each other advice. They were giving each other ideas. They were sharing resources. Where did you get this? Where did you get that? And they really were stronger together. And so very proud of how everyone responded during the pandemic. And then our binational. I don't know if anybody had a chance to jump on today's webinar, because they've started the new webinar series, and today was the Yuma International Airport, Gladys Wiggins. It was moderated and hosted by Buna George. It was fantastic, and we had people from all over the country participated today on that first webinar. And this binational trade webinar series was incredible. You would not believe how far away. We had people from Saudi Arabia participating in these, and it just opened so many eyes about the opportunities of partnering with us in Tijuana and Ensenada, and just alternatives to Long Beach and LA. So it was incredible, the touch and resources and the reach that we had with these. And I'm so glad we're doing them again. So please stop me if you have any questions. I'm sorry, I'm talking really fast. So interrupt me if you have any questions before now.
You're doing fine, Julie. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Our legislative updates on the Forefront ED. we were very vocal. We were at the Capitol, actually testified in person against the bill that was reintroduced this year that would have put all of Arizona's ADOT's enforcement agency within 5 miles of the border. And we're happy to say it didn't make it any further than that. The Yuma 50 was very, very supportive of the relocation of the fairgrounds and the widening of Highway 95. So we were at the Capitol lobbying on behalf of those. I am sorry to say that we made a real hard push to have our opportunity zones modified, and we really had a lot of traction before the presidential election. And right before the election, they said, nope, this isn't going to go anywhere because it would be an act of Congress and you're not going to get one. And so they shot us down, and I am so sorry about that because this would have been a huge win if we could have modified those boundaries. And again, I go back to what I stated earlier about the recovery. The state is really focused on sales. The Arizona Commerce Authority, sales is their main driver, and sales are only happening in one area of the state. And so there haven't been any new programs for rural. There haven't been many projects for rural. As a matter of fact, if you look at the job creation, 190 jobs per day in Maricopa in 2020, and there were only 78 jobs per month in Yuma during 2020. And Yuma is, you know, everyone knows Yuma County is the third largest metro area outside of Phoenix. So that's not okay as a state. That's not a healthy state, and that is a precarious position to be in as a state. And what Kimber Lanning from Local First is trying to do is going to help in some respects. But we really do need meaningful programs. And unfortunately, the bill that we introduced last year that, you know, didn't make it because of COVID, we reintroduced this year and it didn't make it out of committee. And it was so unfortunate because this really would have been an incentive bill. It would have helped with infrastructure, and it was geared towards rural Arizona. So we were gutted when that didn't go through either. So with all of our success, we had some really hard losses too. So the opportunity zone and our incentive bill both were really hard losses for us. So as I said, the analysis for the spaceport went really well. We are very safe. We fall within all of the FAA guidelines. And it looks like we're even going to have a corridor that will only disrupt Highway 2 in Mexico for the time of the launch, which is usually about 30 minutes. So it looks like we're going to be able to proceed. It's going to be very expensive to get the FAA license. And we are trying to raise the funds for a consulting firm to do the licensing on our behalf, because you need a lot of knowledge to get through that process. And so we'll keep you posted on what that looks like. And I think that's going to be huge for San Luis because of its proximity to San Luis and the fact that there's going to be tourism as a result of this. There's going to be higher education opportunity there with all of the fuels and sources that are needed for launching. This is going to create a tremendous education opportunity, and we anticipate University of Arizona investing in proximity to, and where else can they do that but in your area where the land is ready for development and it's in proximity to this. So we see a lot of opportunity for Yuma County with this, but this will be a state asset. It can't be a community asset because ADOT is in charge of transportation. This is a major transportation, and so ADOT has to be a partner 100%. So this is going to be a state asset, and University of Arizona needs to be a partner as well. And then we'll have tourism opportunities too, because there are a lot of people who love to watch launches. And so we'll get that hotel in San Luis for sure.
Thank you, Julie.
Okay, so that really does wrap up my presentation, and I am happy to answer any questions. And again, I apologize for how fast I talked, but I didn't want to keep you too long tonight.
No, Julie, thank you. First and foremost, we see the impact, and because of COVID, I mean, your presence in San Luis and in Yuma County has been increased a lot, and we really see it. I see it, and we really appreciate what you guys do. And those webinars are amazing. And so,
Aren't they?
yeah, I've heard very good comments, and
Yeah.
so we have to continue and
Yes.
exactly, and we need to be part of the whole dynamics of Yuma, and the fact that you have all that information regarding our students that go to AWC, and you hit the nail right on the head regarding we need to get them graduated.
Mhm.
The training, wow, from Germany, if we can get those, oh sheesh, that
Yeah.
information, the way they train, I mean, Germany
Yes.
is known for
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And I,
That's why it's so well known, because they are known worldwide for their abilities. So please, please, please spread the word about that free tuition, because that really will mitigate that problem with kids running out of money. Because I mean, if they can get some of those classes that are going to help get them college ready, if they can do that this summer, get it done for free. Get it done for free. And it's any age high school student, any age.
perfect.
Julie, do they have a link or something that provided to share to get it out?
You know what, I am going to look, and we'll make sure, we'll get it in our newsletter, and we'll also make sure we push it out via email too. And the Arizona Western College website has to have something on it too. So we'll definitely push it out. Now I'm working with Jenny. We're getting ready to do a Southern Arizona Town Hall, and Dr. Core and I will be the keynote speakers on the first one, which is April 22nd. And we are talking about this, the link between jobs and higher education, and what the new economy looks like, and what a healthy economy or a healthy community is what we're really striving for.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Julie, thank you. I'm going to go and open the floor for any council member that might have any further questions. I'm going to ask each individual. Let's see here. Vice Mayor, comments, questions?
I just want to thank Julie for her presentation. It was very, very informative, and it contained a lot of very valuable and exciting information. I'm so looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you. I do believe that Tadeo has a copy of my presentation, and he's welcome to share it with everybody.
Good, thank you. We'll definitely share it. Matias?
Thank you, Julie. It's just appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I know you're pushing our industrial park, Magrino Park, and our east side of town, since there's a lot of demand for that right now. Quick question: where did that one project end up going? Did they announce the site selection?
No,
No?
we're still favored. Yeah,
Okay.
we get
All
a
right.
call from them at least once a week asking for additional information.
Okay, all right. Good.
Which project are we talking about? I guess I need to clarify.
But I mean, obviously we don't know any names, but the big one that was supposed to be, we were contending with other states, Nevada, the Japanese one,
Right.
manufacturer, what was it? Yeah.
Yeah. We are still in the hunt for that one.
Okay, all right, cool.
Thank you, Matias.
Thank you.
Gloria Torres, comments, questions, and concerns?
No, Mayor, just thank you, Judy. Julie, it was very good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Torres.
Thank you. Luis Cabrera, comments, questions, concerns?
Just want to thank Julie for the presentation. It was a lot of information, and we already have the copy. I was following it along on my computer, so
Oh, good,
thank you, Julie.
Good. Thank you, Councilmember Cabrera. Thank you all for your time.
No, thank you. Jose Ponce?
No, I just want to thank Ms. Julie. It was a great presentation for our community. I got nothing to say. It was a good presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Really appreciate it.
Once again, Julie, have a good night, and thank you so much. I really appreciate your hard work, and please thank your staff. They're really doing a great job.
I certainly will. Thank you all very much, and have a good evening.
Yeah, have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now going to go under item number 2B, presentation and report any no matters regarding federal appropriations requested for the federal fiscal year 2022. Jenny Torres?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. The federal government, in order to meet some of the community needs across the United States, the Appropriation Committee accepts programmatic, language-based, and community project funding requests from members of Congress. So what Congressman Grijalva did is he outreached to us, asking us if there were any specific community projects we were interested in submitting. Now, once we went into the website and we realized some of the criteria, just to give you an example, for transportation, you had to have a project that are most shovel-ready, NEPA has been done, and that there's been funding allocation, and it has to be in the Transportation Improvement Plan, so what they call the TIP, the YMPO TIP. So they were very specific in the requirements they were looking at. Also, the other item was they were looking at projects that were smaller in size, not like our Cesar Chavez Boulevard, which is a huge project, or our Port of Entry, which is another huge project. So what we did is and I say we, several of the staff, but Mary kind of took the lead on it, is we reviewed the information to verify what projects would qualify. So we looked at our capital project list. There is one project that we believe would qualify. I'm going to have Mary come in and talk to you about it. But the other item that we work with Congressman Grijalva's office is trying to see how we can get them to support us on the big projects, the Port of Entry, the Cesar Chavez Boulevard, our expansion of our wastewater treatment plant and our water well. As you all know, there is a bill that is being discussed at the federal level, the infrastructure bill. And so I think Congressman Grijalva is trying to obtain specific projects that might qualify under what is being proposed. Obviously, still under discussion, but we believe that if we can present those projects to them, there's an opportunity of Congressman Grijalva's office assisting us. Now, I was informed that they haven't done this appropriations committee in a while, in a couple of years. So this was new. It was a fast turnaround. So what we're going to do is we're really going to have to focus in our capital projects and try to get to shovel-ready projects. So when we have this type of opportunities, we're ready to submit. So with that, I'm going to have Mary come in and tell you the one project that we went ahead and submitted. The deadline was today, so we didn't have an opportunity to come to you and discuss it a little bit further. But we will probably have other opportunities in the future to do that. Mary?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and staff. This was an 11th hour initiative, and I'm pleased to state that staff pulled together to really make this happen. We did have some selection criteria, and because there's a 12-month turnaround, we looked at all of the different elements, and the one project that really stood out, not that they weren't all worthy, but it was more of a timing issue and a shovel-ready issue, was a citywide multimodal circulation plan. So with that, we have already available to us, thanks to completing the on-call engineering protocol. We have something that is ready, and once appropriated and enacted, if we're fortunate, we'll have 12 months to actually contract with one of our engineering firms and really evaluate citywide circular multimodal circulation. And that would include, the study would provide a guideline for city officials and staff, of course, in determining the best methodology to safely merge pedestrians with vehicular traffic. We don't have a citywide multimodal study right now, and it would be beneficial with all of the high-end projects that we're preparing to complete over the next few years to merge that with the studies that we do have. One of them, of course, is the successfully completed general plan, and that was 2020. And then we go back a ways to improving community connections, which was funded by the US EPA. And then, of course, further back, there was a San Luis transit circulation study, and it really kind of was an overview of where our public transportation goes. So those were the elements. That's what we presented. We did talk about both of our ports of entry and the amount of traffic and pedestrian crossings that we have in excess or around annually 8 million. So that's pretty significant. And that we recognize the fact that in Yuma County, we are the sole entry to Mexico. So those were some of the key things that we concentrated on, and it was submitted at 5 o'clock.
Mary, thank you so much. I know
You're welcome, my pleasure.
I know Jenny mentioned some of the projects you guys are working on, and I thought we were going to have a little chance, but no worries, no. And I figured there were going to be shovel ready, and there were going to be restrictions on it. And I had a feeling because there's a lot of projects. Every community has projects, and that's why we should focus on these shovel ready projects. And the thing is, one project that I really want to work on is something that it's low cost and high impact, and that's the I don't know which street it is that connects to Efe, Section Efe, the auxiliary. Is Mr. Vera there?
County
Yes.
24th.
County 24th, yeah. We definitely need to have that shovel ready, and I believe that if anything would have been a big impact. And the cost of it is minimal, and the impact, and I think that's what they're looking for. And Mr. Vera?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. Yeah, that would be County 24th Street, and actually on the design, we actually are sort of in a good place in the design that we could finish it fairly quick. There's a permitting process that we're behind, and it'll probably take near a year to get that approval from Bureau of Reclamation.
But once but Mr. Vera, just once we have it shovel ready, I mean, permits. I mean, it's going to take 2 years to get these funding. I can tell right now. I mean, I believe their deadline is 2 years or something like to use that funding. So no.
The
Mary, am I correct?
appropriations are enacted at the beginning of the federal fiscal year. So we're talking about fiscal year 2022, which actually would be a 21-22 year for us. So the project was considered, but with the restrictions, we thought it wasn't quite ready, and will be ready for next year's appropriations or other project funding. The big question is they're spending $2.1 trillion, and I don't know if we're going to have enough appropriations next year. So, no, that's good. Thank you. Very good, very good. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Are you done, Mary? I'm sorry. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
Se me olvida que soy vice mayor. I'm sorry.
Ande, pues.
I'm like, what? Sorry. No, thank you guys. Thank you for putting in all the work and getting this in before the 5 o'clock deadline. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Matias?
Nothing, Mayor. All good.
Good. Gloria Torres?
None, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Luis Cabrera?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Jose Ponce? Councilman? Okay, so Jenny, Mary, staff, thank you so much. I know there was a deadline, and you guys met it, and I thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mayor. It was Mary's all work, so I got to give it to her.
Thank you so much. There it is. Item number 2C, discussion and possible direction of staff in all matters regarding a contract between the City of San Luis and Regional Centers for Border Health and Company to participate in a grant application to the Federal Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health Grant to advance health literacy, enhance equitable community response to COVID, such as testing, contact tracing, and vaccination. Jenny Torres.
Mayor, members of the council, we were approached by Regional Center for Border Health about the ability of this grant to do health literacy focused on COVID. It was a $4 million grant to be funded in 2 years. Mary, obviously, we brought her in. We were working in trying to submit the grant, a lot of work in a very short period of time. We did reach out to Yuma County at the time to try to get a sense if the Yuma County Health Department was going to apply, because we knew this was in their area. At the time, we were told that they were not looking at applying. And so the city wanted to step in and try to do something for South County in terms of vaccination, education, since we were already working on some minor projects. We were informed just this afternoon that the county will be submitting an application. They are more supportive. They're willing to work with us if we wanted to proceed. But I think my recommendation was to step down and not apply for the grant and let the county apply and be supportive. I did speak to Diana Gomez. She was very supportive. She said, whatever we can do, bring in more funding to South County, do more education. They are willing to partner with us to try to not just get the funding, but try to get that education out to our residents. I did speak to Amanda Aguirre because both the city and Regional Center for Border Health had done a lot of the work in trying to put this application together, since it was due on the 20th, but they had requested 5 days earlier. So there was a lot of work done, but we really feel that Yuma County is the ideal entity that should be applying. The grant was focused on county and municipalities. And so, again, we said if the county's not going to do it, we're willing to step in out of our comfort zone, but, knowing that this was a good project. But now that they're doing that, I think it's best that we allow them to apply. We support them, and we work in a partnership with them to try to bring in that education to our community. So what I'm requesting right now is just, I guess, would it be
Table?
Table? Would it be table?
Yeah.
Would it be table the item? So, and support the Yuma County Health Department in this application.
Jenny, let's make sure that we get a letter for support for the county. It's $4 million, and I know they needed the funding. I know when you talked to me regarding that, we were going to go ahead and proceed, and I really like the idea. The concept is an excellent idea, and I know Amanda Aguirre knew it was an excellent idea, but the county it needs more resources, and that definitely that money and that extra person would definitely help. We need to put the county also. We will support you. We definitely want to support you, but we also need that literacy. We also need that education. I know they said they were going to focus a lot more in communities like Somerton, San Luis, and Welton. And they've been doing that. And so thanks to the vaccinations that they've been providing and the resources they've been doing. So it's really, let's make sure we have a letter for them supporting them, please. Okay?
Okay, Mayor.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm open the floor for any discussion. This motion needs to be tabled, but I definitely want to hear from council members. Vice Mayor, Africa.
No comments. Thank you, Jenny.
Perfect. Matias Rosales.
No comments.
Thank you. Gloria Torres.
No comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see here. Luis Cabrera.
No, I think it's a good idea what Jenny presented. So thank you, Jenny. No further comments.
Thank you. Councilmember Ponce.
No comments. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. I will now we don't need a motion, but we're just gonna this was not going to be presented, it's not going to be presented at the council meeting, is it, Jenny?
No, this is Kay. Worked on the contract, but we're not gonna put it on the consent agenda since it seems we have a consensus that the direction
Yeah.
to staff is to just do a letter of support with the public health.
Perfect.
And this
Thank
is
you,
work
sir.
And we're in a
session,
work session. We don't
Yeah.
need a motion.
so, Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
We're, yes?
No, just clearing my throat, sorry.
Okay, okay. Let's see here. We are going to go with item number 2D, discussion and possible direction staff in all matters regarding ratifying staff's correction of the entity's name for Don Peterson's Engineering Company to DPE Construction Company on the contract City Council approved on March 17, 2021 for the construction of the Magrino Industrial Park Unit 3 Base Phase Roadway Improvement Project from Don Peterson Engineering and Company to DPE Construction and Company. Okay?
Yeah, Mayor, members of the council, on March 17, you approve a contract. The contract was put under Don Peterson Engineering, which is one of the parent companies. What they asked us is to make sure that the contract was in DPE Construction, so they're going to be doing the work. So what we wanted to do is just ratify to make sure, because this is grant related, and we wanted to make sure we have the appropriate name. They do doing business as, but we felt that the correction was to just put DPE Construction. So that's why we're bringing it back, just as a ratification, just to put the contract under DPE Construction.
Thank you, Jenny, for the clarification. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. We're just changing the name, basically.
That's it. But it's the same company, yes.
Yes. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Matia Rosales, comments, questions, or concerns?
None, sir.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Luis Cabrera, comments, questions, and concerns?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
We are now going to go with item number 2E, discussion and possible direction staff in all matters regarding modification to the current Parks and Recreation fee schedule. Then this is Lisandro Galaviz.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, and administration. We're bringing this back to you for approval. This was something that I presented to council about 60 days ago. It was the updated fees. They hadn't been updated since 2007. So I'm just coming back for your approval. To my understanding, speaking with the city clerk, we didn't have any comments. I don't know if Sonia would like to officially say something.
Sonia, do you want to say something officially?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. For the record, I would like to state that my office did not receive any comments in favor of or against this item thus far.
So I just wanted to be able to present this to you. Again, this was brought up to you several months ago. It was updating our fees, adjusting some fees that we were actually losing money because of labor and expense of material, which was painting the fields for different events, and then reorganizing the cultural center fee schedule also. So I come before you today just if we can have your approval to move forward with these new fees. That was presented 60 days ago.
Thank you, Mr. Galaviz. I have no questions. I believe we definitely had a lot of questions then, and so I have no questions. Thank you, Mr. Galaviz. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor, Vice Mayor.
No questions, thank you.
Thank you, Matia Gonzalez.
No questions, Mayor.
Gloria Torres.
No question, Mayor.
Thank you, Luis Luna. Luis Cabrera, I'm sorry.
No questions, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Galaviz, do you have your answer?
Thank
Proceed.
you very much.
Thank you. We are going to now go under item 2F, discussion and possible direction of staff any matters regarding the purchase of a 2021 Chevrolet Silverado and the transfer funds from available accounts for the purchase. Mr. Galaviz?
Yes, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I bring you this item to you tonight. We had just a brief history on this purchase. One of our little Ford Ranger trucks was parked in front of our facilities building when they were taking their break. And unfortunately, we had a resident come and plow into it accidentally. This vehicle was totaled. And fortunately, you know, the individual that wrecked into was fine. He had insurance. It was a parked vehicle. There was no staff inside the vehicle. Just that when the insurance came to review the truck, the Ranger, of course, it was totaled. It didn't take much. So they did send us finance a check for the amount due for what they estimated. And we were working with the facility supervisor. We were able to move some other funds that we had this year for the possibility of purchasing this vehicle. Another thing that was beneficial for us is we had purchased a truck this year, and the dealership accidentally ordered 2 trucks. So this is actually, if not, I think other departments have mentioned we can't find any trucks right now. Well, they have 1 truck waiting for us we just lucked out. So, so I've come before you tonight looking for your approval to be able to make this purchase.
And Mr. Galaviz, you are correct regarding the trucks. And I think I've heard that also. So yeah, no, it's a smart move. And the thing is that Ford Ranger was actually, I thought it was a little bit too small for the things you guys do. So thank you. I have no further questions. Vice Mayor?
No questions for this purchase.
Thank you. Matias?
No questions. Glad no one was injured.
Exactly. Okay. Gloria Torres?
No question, Mayor.
Thank you. Luis Carrera?
No, I think it's a good idea, so we should move forward.
Thank you. Mr. Ponce?
No questions, sir.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Galaviz, proceed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Galaviz. Item number 2G, discussion and possible direction of staff in all matters regarding the purchase of extended warranty coverage for the new, is it Solvi cardiac monitors? Chief?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of council. This is an item that I brought up to the budget retreat last year. And last year, you guys, or the city, acquired 7 brand new Zoll cardiac monitors. This is probably, this type of equipment is probably more than likely the equipment that we use on a daily basis. They're very important to us. Each monitor costs around $35,000 to $40,000. When we purchase these monitors, they come in with a 1-year warranty. So they provide us an extended warranty to purchase after that 1-year warranty expires. So that's why I come to you to see if we can purchase those 5-year warranty. What that entails is any upgrades, anything that needs to get repaired, they come on site, they repair it, and if they can't repair it, they take it with them, but they have a loaner program that will leave a cardiac monitor here with us. We have, like I said, we have 7 cardiac monitors, 1 on each vehicle, and then we have one that we use at the fire station for our walk-ins. A little bit about these monitors, they're the ones that take the blood pressure checks, they check for cardiac rhythms. They're very important to us because this is the way we talk to also with the doctors at the emergency room. They can see our cardiac monitors and we can actually talk to them, and they can see what we're doing. So they're very important pieces of equipment, so that's what we're asking for, that 5-year extended warranty.
Yeah, Chief, it looks, 53,000 looks like steep, but like you said, one of those devices can cost you between 35 and 40,000.
Yep.
So we definitely need the extended warranty. We definitely need the, if that loaner program is an excellent. We depend on you guys to be accurate, and you guys need the proper tools to do that. So I commend you, and they're really nice units, and I'm glad we switched over when we did. So thank you, Chief, for calling that in. And I have no further questions. Appreciate it. Vice Mayor.
None, Mayor. No comments, no questions, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mateo Rosales.
No, Mayor, once you break it down, it comes down to $1,500 per unit per year. I think it's a very important investment coverage. Yeah, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Perfect. Gloria Torres.
No, Mayor, no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Luis Carrera.
No, Mayor. Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Ponce.
No questions, sir. We need those items, so thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Perfect. Well, there you go. Chief, Ramirez, proceed.
Thank you.
We're going to go to item number 2.8, discussion and possible direction staff in all matters regarding the purchase of the Avia phone system for the city of San Luis. Derek Dueñas, IT manager.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. Staff is recommending the replacement of our NEC phone system with an Avaya phone system. Our current phone system became obsolete in 2018, and the manufacturer is no longer supporting the system. This is a budgeted capital project. We had budgeted $150,000 for the whole project, but there have been an increase in pricing for information technology. This includes the Avaya phone system. The increase is for $15,000, and the manufacturer is currently going over the quote to see if there is any bundling discounts that are available, so that should reduce the cost. We are going through state contracts for the equipment purchase, but because of the dollar amount, it is something that we're required to go through council for approval. I don't know if there are any questions from council.
Yeah, I've always said that, Derek, the phone system is always probably one of the right now, it's very important and essential for us to proceed and to provide that customer service we need. No, and they're expensive. They're specifically for what we do, and I appreciate that. I know you try, and the good thing is you're using the state contract, so that's a good thing. So, will we be buying some extended warranties on them?
We are getting the 3-year extended warranty. At the time when the 3-year extended warranty runs out, we would be able to continue purchasing another 3 years.
Okay. The lifespan of these phones, I thought it was like 5 years.
Can you repeat the question?
The lifespan of the service of the phones, is it between 4 and 5 years?
Well, from the research that we've done for the Avaya phone system, we've seen that they can go up to 10 years. I'm expecting a 7 to 10 year lifespan on the phones in the phone system.
That's good. That's a very good contract then. Thank you. Thank you. I have no further questions, Derek. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for discussion. Africa Luna Carasto, Vice Mayor.
None, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Okay, thank you, Vice Mayor. Let's see here, Mateo Rosales.
Derek, so the 210 units, that covers every building, every facility, not just the City Hall building, right? That's obviously we have to change out the whole system, correct?
That is correct. There are some locations where we do share the phone system. For example, the Parks and Rec it will be the youth center, the gym, and the cultural center. They share a phone system. That's currently how we have it right now. The only difference from the setup that we have right now to this new setup is that public safety would have their own phone system.
Okay, and then my other question is, what happens to the old system? I remember back in the days, there were brokers that would buy and recycle at auction or something. What do we do with a system of that amount of phones that we take out?
I am planning on leaving it at least for 1 year. Yes, on storage. Hopefully, we don't have to, but you know, as a backup system or in case we have other plans down the road.
Okay.
Perfect, Matias. Thank you. Gloria Torres.
No, Mayor, thank you. No questions. Thank you, dear.
Luis Carrera.
No questions. Thank you.
Mr. Ponce.
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Derek, proceed.
Thank you.
We are going to go with item number 2I, discussing the possible direction staff in all matters regarding possible text amendment to the zoning regulations regarding covered parking requirements for multiple residence zoning districts. Mr. Jose Guzman.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. So the current regulations require that all the parking on multiple residence buildings, like apartment, condominiums, they have to be covered, and we believe this regulation is too restrictive. So we're proposing to change the required covered parking to only require one covered parking for each unit that they have. This will not be a reduction in parking spaces. It will be just the covered ones. We came up with this number because we have the new regulations that requires for each house to have at least one covered carport. So this will be the same for the residents of the multifamily complexes. Any questions?
No, they actually, this needed to be happened. Thank you for looking into that, Jose. I really appreciate that. I know we've had issues with some businesses and also some residents also. So no, smart move. Thank you. I'm gonna go and open the floor. Vice Mayor.
No questions, no comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Thank you, Vice Mayor. Matias Rosales.
I don't know if you mentioned it or I missed it on the reading part. What was it before? How many per unit? 10 or something?
So the parking spaces requirements will not change. So for example, the 100 unit apartment complex will require each 2-bedroom to have 2 parking spaces. So that requirement will not change. Right now, the regulation states that all the required parking spaces have to be covered.
Oh, okay, so all had to be covered.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's only one. Okay, that helps. All right, we need it, especially like Julie mentioned, there's a need for multi-housing, and this will help the developers bring that into the community. It's all about cost, so. All right, thank you.
Gloria Torres, comments, questions, and concerns?
No, Mayor, no questions.
Luis Carrera, comments, questions, and concerns?
I think it's a good idea. Jose, was there a particular reason you looked into this, or was there like someone complaining, or?
There was no complaining. We received a plan submitted for an apartment complex, and when I was doing the review, I noticed that all the required parking spaces have to be covered, and I just thought that it was too restrictive.
Yeah, it seems like an aggressive thing to ask. Awesome. Thank you for looking into this. No other questions.
Mr. Ponce, comments, questions, concerns?
Well, let me see if I understand this. Jose, those apartments on the east side of Walmart, those are covered. Am I right? Am I right? That's what you're talking about? see, parking section, they got those shades. That's what you're talking about? When you said covered?
Yeah, when I say cover, it's adding shade to the parking space.
Okay, so this is gonna apply for all the complex, I mean, like, build, housing?
Yes, all the apartments, condominiums.
Condominiums, oh, okay,
Something like that.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Proceed, Mr. Jose Guzman. Item number 2J, discussion and possible action, staff and all matters regarding resolution number 2163, 2164, 2165, 2166, 2167, and 2168 for the creation and order of work for required improvement districts for Bienestar 11 subdivision. Mr. Guzman.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, so the subdivision regulations require for any new subdivisions to have improvement districts. We receive petitions for the improvement districts that are required for Bienestar 11 subdivision. Bienestar 11 is part of the East San Luis Community Facilities District. Therefore, no community facility district is required, but the three main ones that are required is Street Lighting Improvement District, Enhanced Municipal Improvement District. This covers the retention basins, and the Landscape Improvement District. So since all these items are for the same subdivision, I put them together on one item. However, these will be placed on the consent agenda for the regular meeting of next week, and each resolution will be listed individually, so there will be 6 items, unless City Council wants to discuss these items during the regular meeting. But I listed the resolution numbers and what it was for. I'm here if you have any questions.
No questions, Guzman. I know districts are required, and the thing is, they're essential for the maintenance of, especially if they want to modify the retention basins. It's very important we have those districts done. Unfortunately, not all our districts, I mean, not every development has districts in the past, but now it's one of the requirements, so thank you. But let me, for clarification, Jose, so it was not required for it to have a district?
For the community facilities district. So right now, 4 districts are required, but the community facilities, it was ready, this lot is part of the East San Luis Community Facilities District that was done years back. So that district specifically, they already complying with it, so we're requesting the other 3.
Okay, so it already has existing districts.
Yeah, they have 1.
Okay, it's already part of it. Okay, thank you. To your Vice Mayor, comments, questions, concerns?
No, just that I also agree with you, Mayor, the importance of having the districts. So thank you, Jose.
Thank you. Matia Rosales?
No, just appreciate you putting it in the consent agenda and separating them. That way the meeting will go a bit faster. I know last time we had a confusion about that. And explaining it today in the work session, that we know what we're doing next week. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Gloria Torres?
No question. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Luis Cabrera?
No questions. Thank you, Jose.
Mr. Ponce?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Jose, proceed.
Thank you.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move, Mayor.
Second.
There's a motion, there's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Have a good night, guys. Please stay safe.
Good night. Good night.